City Sounds. I'm your local musical shit show. I'm so excited about this interview. When I saw you guys were on the bill for Ryfield, I was fucking stoked. Your music is great. It's
Oh,
fantastic. Please introduce yourself.
my name's Justin, and I play drums in the Good Depression.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys are the latest. I had a good word for it. It's gone. You guys are the latest release for Ryfield Studios. I'm right from go. I haven't been able to speak properly.
I think we all have those days.
Oh, some days I'm a genius and I get everything done, and other days I'm spitting my toothpaste in my hair trying to get out the door.
I feel you.
So you guys are part of Ryfield's lineup.
Yeah, we're pretty excited on that.
That's fun, eh?
It is. We actually got to go to the studio, and it was a month or two ago. But yeah, we had a blast there.
Yeah, it's great there, eh?
Yeah, it's awesome. They got a nice setup.
They do. They're in a great space. The location that they're in is fantastic because they can make as much noise as they want, which is wonderful.
It's perfect.
So, yeah, no, I love it out there. I go out any chance I get. Actually, I think I'm going to be there for my May 28th interview, which should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
But
That's awesome.
I can't tell anybody who that is yet. So, well, let's talk about how you guys got to this point. Where did it all start for you guys? How did you get together?
So, Brian, Keith, and I were actually in a band like about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago now. We played in a band called Rudiments, and I played guitar in that. And then when we called it quits, Keith and I actually started jamming in my garage, and I started playing drums then. And we were like, well, let's invite some more people. We're gonna jam, right? So we ended up asking Brian to tag along, and we started writing some tunes. And eventually we asked Dylan to do vocals. And right around that time, I don't think my neighbors liked us very much because they were calling the cops on us. So we ended up renting a jam space. We jammed at this place called 410 Studios. It's in like the Stony Creek Mountain, but it's an awesome space out there. Same idea as Ryfield.
Yep. 420. They're off the 420, right on Rymel Road.
Yeah. Rymel turns into Highway 20 at one point. It's kind of confusing because it's like Highway 20 goes straight and then makes a left for some reason at an intersection.
Yep.
But
yeah. I've been out to meet Carmen and see the space, and they're doing wonders for the music industry. They're great people too. So.
Oh yeah, the best. Yeah, we love those guys.
It's awesome out there.
So that's where it all started. We actually had we were a 5-piece at one point. We had 2 guitar players, and then eventually we just ended up going back to a 4-piece, just easier.
Yep.
Less people to manage, right?
Yep.
So, but so now we practice at Main Stage now. It's cool. It's a nice little spot.
Right on.
And could still be as loud as you want there, but everybody else can too. So
yeah, and there's no confliction of sound or anything like that, so that's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So where did you guys get your name?
I don't know. We're idiots. It's so stupid. We were watching like a lot of Seinfeld, and Jerry Seinfeld's always like, or even the other writers.
Yep.
Like, well, it's not great. It's good. Like, so it was kind of, we just took it from that aspect and ran with it. People seem to like it for some reason.
It's a good name. It's got a very 40s prohibition feel to it. I like it. I do. Yeah. I like it. That's why I asked how you guys came up with it, because that's what when I hear the Good Depression, that's what I think of, is like 30s, 40s, right? And like what little good time that there was, if any, in that era, right? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
for
have
sure.
ADHD and I'm unmedicated, and that's how my brain works. So there's a little glimpse into it.
Yeah. Even in those times, I'm sure they had some good times, right? So,
Yep. Yep. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there was some rebellion somewhere where people were laughing and enjoying themselves and,
oh hell
you
yeah.
know, so right on. That's awesome. So how did
Yeah.
you yourself get into music? You said you're the drummer of the band. How did it all start for you?
Um, I feel like it was pretty easy to get into like punk and stuff like that when you're like a young kid, right?
Right.
Um, like Sum 41 and Blink 182, they were so accessible, watching much music and all that. So that definitely had um, a a reason behind why I wanted to play music myself. But and then after that, just going to shows as a young kid, the Hamilton scene was like huge back when I was growing up. It's still pretty big today, but
Yeah.
from where it was, like you'd go and see touring bands that play at the Casbah, which is kind of crazy because I look back at those posters and you wouldn't think that they would have those lineups there now. It's like a 150 cap room. So
Right.
yeah, just going to shows, hanging out with my friends, right? I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the people in my like area, it's the same thing. But yeah,
Right
playing
on.
music's always been a passion.
Yeah.
But definitely watching other bands do it kind of it makes you want to scratch an itch that you didn't know you have.
I can understand that. Absolutely. I can totally understand that.
Yeah.
So what was the first concert you went to?
Actually, one of the first live shows I think I went to by myself or just with one other person was in Burlington. It was in a parking lot of the Appleby Hockey Arena. They had a stage set up. It was a band called Sydney.
Cool.
They yeah, they were like a punk band back in the day. And
Yep.
then they were pretty big for the area. They were from Burlington, so that makes sense why they'd play in a parking lot. But
Yep.
it was crazy. I was probably like 13 or 14. I remember taking the
Awesome.
bus there for the first time. And from Hamilton to Appleby is like it's a trek on a bus. So
Yeah, I bet.
yeah, that was one of my first experiences.
That's so cool. The
Mhm.
first experience I ever had with live music was the Screaming Beavers and the Sick Boys in the basement of Sloth on Queen Street in Niagara Falls. And I was
Oh
like, I don't
wow.
know, 11 or 12 years old. You know, I had my grunge t-shirts on and my big Jinko jeans and like I thought I was going to Sloth to maybe like find somebody that was, cool enough to give me some pot and whatever, just be, a little ridiculous 13-year-old stoner, 12, whatever I was.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the moment that turned me on to music. And then I heard War Pigs from Black Sabbath, and that's why I'm a metalhead. So
If there's any
I can
song that'll
certainly
do it.
but well, yeah, right, right. So
Yeah.
I can identify with your journey of the going from the parking lot to sitting behind your very own kit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So that's cool. That's really cool. So who are your bandmates?
So there's myself, which you're talking to, obviously.
Yeah,
And then there's Dylan, the vocalist. There's Brian, the guitar player, and Keith plays bass.
awesome,
Yep.
awesome. And the lineup that you have, has that
Yes.
always been beautiful? I love when
It
I
it
don't have to answer questions.
it's always been the
Love it.
same, except for the one member that uh, ended up hurting themselves and they couldn't continue to play. So we're just like,
Unfortunately.
you know what? We'll make it easy on ourselves and
Yep.
just keep it simple, right? Just four
Well,
people.
it's interesting how just adding or taking away one person really changes the dynamics of how things work, traveling works, and how all kinds of things. work. Sorry, I got messages coming up. You know, how you're traveling, how you transport your gear, you know, how you guys market yourselves and stuff. Like it all depends, right? How loud you are, you know, who does what. How does your writing process work?
There's a couple different ways that we go about writing. Sometimes, like Brian will have an idea for a song, and he'll tab it out on a Guitar Pro. It's a tablature software. Usually, he'll send it to the group, and I'll write drums to it on Logic. But for the most part, we sit in a room together and just fuck around and I can swear, right? Is that okay?
No,
yeah.
no,
yeah,
you
no
can't.
swearing. Yeah. Sorry, that just came
So
out.
we can do whatever the fuck we want, man.
Hell yeah. So we just sit in a room and toy around with ideas until usually we stumble upon something that we think it is well fit enough to be in a song or be a song itself, and kind of just expand on that idea from there. That's how most of our songs are written, I'd say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on. So it sounds like you guys, you just have like that natural creative flow. You just have to kind of mess around until you hear it and you feel it, and then you start working on it.
I'd say so. I feel like we mesh pretty well together as musicians. Like we can just sit down and screw around in a room for hours without like any indication of where we're going. It's just kind of like a free jam, if you will.
Right.
But so that's definitely a bonus. Because there's been people I've played with that it hasn't been like that. And
right.
You got to like sit down and talk about, okay, maybe we'll play this or whatever. But with us, it's just natural.
Yeah. Awesome. Right on. That's fantastic. And albums, music, songs. What do you guys have out there? Where can we find all your music, and what do you have for music?
So we're on all streaming platforms right now. So we have one full length out right now, and an EP that would be our first release, was our EP, and it's pretty old. It sounds a lot different than what we play now, but then we have a handful of singles. There's like 5 singles out right now.
Cool.
But we're also we're planning to release a new album next month. So on June 14th, we're gonna drop an album. So we're gonna start promoting that soon. I guess you're one of the first people to hear it.
Wicked. That's fucking great timing too for the festival coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, that's awesome. I'm really excited that I was the first, me and whoever is watching and whoever gets to watch after this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right on. Cool. I love it when new information and new songs get dropped on my show. That's always so fun to be able to do.
Hell yeah.
So, right on. And merchandise. What do you guys have for merchandise, and where can we find all your stuff and your socials? Oh God, I sound so fucking old when I say it, but I do it every week. Every week, I'm like, so what's your socials? Because, you know, I'm not even close to fucking 50 yet. And I'm sounding like I'm there.
Everybody's kind of got their own slang, right?
Yeah. Where are you on social media, and where can we find some merchandise if you have it?
So like all the typical shit, like we're on Instagram and Facebook and all that. Not so much Twitter anymore, because that's just like a hellscape there. And
yeah, it's become like a political pothole, way.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we tend to stay away from there. It seems like our fans don't really interact with us much there anyways.
Right.
So it's mostly Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah. Are you guys on TikTok? I find I'm getting good traction over there.
We are, but I heard they just banned it in the States, or they're passing something there.
Well, I mean, theater, right? Like, it's banned for now, and that's going to get everybody looking over here, and then, oh no, TikTok's not banned, but there's a war over here, you know, like, so yeah, I don't know. I just play it day by day, and you know, why not grow it if you can for now? And you know, I don't know.
We do have one.
Pardon?
We have a TikTok, but I don't know how active it is. I don't pay attention to the TikTok side of things. But
yeah, I hear you. I get it. I do better on Facebook and Instagram, but I do find I am gaining some traction on TikTok, and it's kind of neat to learn how to make videos and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's a big platform, so if you can get your name out there, that's huge, right?
yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right
I
on.
mean,
And sorry, go
as
ahead.
as far as merch and everything, we actually have a website, so it's just thegooddepression.com.
Okay.
And if you go there, there is a link to our store, which we're currently updating. I think we're going to switch like providers for that.
Okay.
So we're going to put a sale on all of our merch that we have currently, albums and all that. So vinyl, CDs, shirts, whatever we have in stock right now.
Awesome.
Try and clear our inventory and make way for some new stuff, right?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. New album, new merch. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
It's the
Oh, I can't
cycle.
wait to get to I can't wait to get to the festival because that means that I can get my hands on it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
I can't wait for that festival. I was there last year, and it was a fucking wild party. And this year the lineup is just like I can't
Yeah.
understand why people like. I'm like, what do you mean you haven't bought your ticket yet? What do you mean? But I also know who's on the lineup, right? So
Yeah, when I saw the lineup, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm glad that we're playing, get to be a part of it this year.
yeah, yeah. There is some heavy ass fucking music on that
There sure
bill.
is.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm
Oh
pumped.
my God. Like I was so whipped at the end of last year that I went and slept in my car because
Oh man.
I was too tired to pull my shit together to go in the tent. I was like, no, I can't do this. And I went to me and my friend went and slept in my car in the front seats. I only drive a Honda Fit, right? My car is this big. So, but
It's been a
it was a
while.
blast.
It's been a while since
So,
I've had to pull one of those, but yeah.
well, I
Damn.
mean, like, why not, right? Like, my mom always used to say to me, you know, like, you're going to grow out of this show stuff and whatever. And now I'm doing it for a living. So, shows you how much I grew out of it.
It's not a phase.
No, it's not. It absolutely is not a phase. I mean, I'm 41 and I still wear black lipstick, Mom. So,
Fucking
you
right.
know, so yeah. But no, that's right on. This has been a fucking great interview so far. I really like how comfortable and easily flowing this is going. It's great.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself.
So wonderful. So what are your influences? Like where does your influence for your writing come from?
I mean, we all listen to quite a bit of different like genres.
Yeah.
Ranges anywhere from like indie to like death metal kind of stuff, you know. But I mean, as far as the band goes, I'd say the main influences are like maybe like Every Time I Die or like He Is Legend kind of stuff. Poison the
Cool.
Well, Norma Jean.
Yep.
We hear
Awesome.
those a lot, so it's like I guess people are they're guessing the right influences. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
But
awesome. Well, it's all good music too, right? So
yeah, especially nowadays, there's so much stuff out there, right? It's just at your fingertips.
there is so much music at your fingertips. And I find that working in this industry, there are so many good musicians.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, but I really dove into it head first about 6 years ago. And I really got to watch that transition between pre-COVID for Josh Smith, because I know how much he hates that phrase. So pre-COVID, like I mean, everybody was doing their thing, everybody was doing great. The beginning of 2020 was really good for a lot of bands. And then everything came to a screeching halt. And some bands really thrived and grew, and some grew apart. Um, what did you find for you personally that did for you for your writing, your music, how you guys did things and stuff like that? Did it hinder you or did it help you guys?
I wouldn't say it was a deterrent by any means, but we did continue writing some songs. Like we didn't get together for a while. We would just talk
Right.
online or whatever and
Yeah.
FaceTime because everybody was scared they're gonna die. But we
Here we are.
we would send ideas back and forth, right? We actually wrote
Yeah.
two of the songs on this album, they're from that time. So when we got back to playing them, it felt like we were already playing them kind of.
Yeah.
But I mean, personally, it definitely made us think of like new ways to look at things, kind of like take like a not a whole different approach into writing or anything like stylistic wise, but we kind of explored some other avenues, and I think it
Cool.
kind of shows in this album.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we were supposed to go to the States, and then it was like that week the border closed when we were supposed to leave, so that got kiboshed real quick. And then it was a whole lot of playing video games with each other.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, it's you look back at it now, and like obviously we have no idea what's going to happen in the next 6 months to 6 years, but like you look back at it now and you wonder how some people's thought process was through that whole thing, and other people, you see how they just took it and made that whole quiet time their bitch. And
Oh yeah.
your band really did that. You guys pulled together, you tighten your sound and stuff. I mean, you guys, from what I've listened to, which is rare, I usually wait until I see a band live before I listen to their music. But with the Bryfield interviews, I have been listening to a little bit, and I actually listened to everything I could find from you guys.
Oh, awesome. So, that's great to hear.
Yeah, so I was excited about it. And you can, like, all of your music, you can hear little influences from everywhere, right? Like you guys have one prominent sound, but you also have those little, oh, I hear that in here, I hear this over here, I hear. Was that intentional, or is that just because you guys have such good flow when you write?
I feel like a lot of us, like, I mean, specifically like the band, and outside of that, like our friend group, we'll all find some sort of like new artist together, and then we kind of just like binge that a little bit.
Right on.
And I feel like we did that quite a bit, to the point where we're like, when we play music, we don't just like play our stuff. We'll sit down and kind of fuck around with even playing somebody else's songs, right? So
yeah,
you definitely take bits and pieces from that, where you're like, well, I love Viagra Boys, why wouldn't we do something like kind of like in that style? And it's definitely what we did. When we're writing songs, we're gonna write the songs that like we would want to listen to, I think. And it's like, that's what we end up with. So there's really heavy songs, and then there's like faster songs, or like songs that are like more so rock over like metalcore or hardcore, or whatever people are calling it. But yeah, I feel like, not that we like latch on to some artist sounds or whatever, but we try and like take bits and pieces from that and make it our own a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's how you utilize the influence that you get from bands, right? You take those pieces that you love, and you kind of utilize them in your own way. That wasn't the word I was looking for. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary, and I'm not doing very well.
Yeah, we need some mushroom mind, or whatever it's called.
I may or may not have eaten mushrooms this past Friday, and laid down a new podcast that'll be coming out soon.
Awesome.
I love the mushrooms.
I'm gonna have to listen to that. Yeah, I partake every now and then.
I don't know how much I can say. I know that I've said a few things here and there to people face to face, but we've been working on it for like 4 days, and we have like 12 or 13 hours worth of stuff that we can use, worth of material, because we just hit record and we just start talking about shit and music and ADHD and mushrooms and drugs and all kinds of stuff, like whatever comes to mind, we talk about. And we're trying to just kind of give it that real perspective about, everyday things that people deal with, and how we deal with it, and what we think about it and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. So we
awesome.
started off with watching an interview between Joe Rogan and Terrence Howard, and we're 13 hours into it and like into material. And we've watched 14 minutes of this video.
Oh wow, you guys are really dissecting it, eh?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
you could say that.
I mean, that's what mushrooms will do to you, right? You kind of
Oh,
really
yeah.
get introspective with stuff.
Yeah. Well,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it just all kind of came together because we were talking about the radio station, and then all of a sudden, it was, hey, you want to eat mushrooms and record a podcast?
Yeah.
So here we are.
It's never a no.
So, I guess that's a little bit of insight into the creative process at Sofa City.
Hell yeah, I'm stoked. Stoked to listen
So
to that.
yeah, so oh well, I'm totally down for that one night, getting online with a band and eating some mushrooms and see how it goes. So maybe we can do that with you guys one night.
Yeah. I mean, you know who to call. We're the band for that.
Nice, awesome, right on. So what do you guys have coming up? Where's you guys got any shows going on before you do Ryfield? Like you did mention that you're releasing new music next month, so
We do. So we are actually playing this weekend. We're gonna play Friday in Toronto at the Doc Ellis, and then
ooh, cool,
yeah, I've never been there, so I'm kind of curious to see what this
nice.
venue is like.
Who's on that bill with you guys?
So that is, I don't have everything memorized because I forget
Mhm.
quite a bit, but what's the date? It's Stuck in Neutral, Crimson
Oh, I
Asphalt,
love them.
Scuzz, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but I believe it's like Belgear or it's if you go to our Instagram, you'll see that there.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
Sunday we're playing Thorold at the Moose and Goose. Same bands, well, two of them. So it's Stuck in Neutral and Crimson Asphalt, and then
Yeah.
Us Alike.
Both good buddies of mine.
Yeah, I haven't been to the Moose and Goose in a while either. So
Okay. And it's this Sunday?
on a Sunday, yeah.
All right. I'm going to try and make it out. I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to try and make it out. I would love to come see you guys for sure. And Stuck in Neutral, I have them playing on the 25th of May at a market that we have going on in the falls. And actually, Crimson Asphalt's going to be there as well. I love those bands. They are great musicians to work with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're stoked to play with them.
yeah. I don't know if you've ever worked with them before, but I'm telling you, they are some of the easiest bands, the most flexible bands you'll ever work with.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
So yeah, I love working with them. They're all good buddies of mine. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Good little
awesome.
weekend
That means
run.
you're gonna be in my head. Please. Yeah, right on. Yeah, weekend runs are fun, especially when you get to play with bands you never played with, and do cities that you've never been to and stuff like that. I think that weekend runs are cool. So,
yeah, it's nice.
I don't play, but
usually like a little Friday, Saturday. Some Sundays are like hit and miss. I realize that everybody wants to wind down, and I do just as much as everybody else. So
yeah.
I know going out on a Sunday is a little hard.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the summer and everybody's like super anxious to get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah.
So hopefully
right.
that really, you know what I mean? And like both bands you guys are playing with are high energy, and they're good people. They pull out decent crowds, and so and you guys have a good following. So I'd imagine it'll be a good turnout. I feel like that's Ryfield Studios. I hope it is, because I can't see the
oh yeah, they sent a little. Yeah, they sent
awesome.
some thorns.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, it's like this big on my phone screen. I'm hiding in my room because my dog is sleeping, and she's finally quiet for an interview, and I'm not going to be the one that wakes her up and wrecks it. So
I don't blame you. I had to makeshift something real quick. I'm in my office, but it's under construction right now. So picked a corner that looked like the less shitty part of the room, and just kind of went with it.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. I had an office. We had it for a month, and like it was great, but it was really difficult to get myself and my radio partner there at the same time. And he was the only one that had a set of keys for the office at the time that we were using it.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of my interviews in my car. You'll see a couple of them in my hallway sitting in front of my front door.
I mean, those are offices
But
too,
I just
right?
got, oh man, makeshift, right? But I just
Yeah.
got this bad boy, and it's about 6 feet long because I
Is that an
can't reach
aquarium?
either side of it. Yeah,
That thing's fucking
yeah.
massive. Are you gonna put an alligator in there?
Well, I originally wanted an arowana shark.
Yeah,
But
nice.
it's I say it's only 150 gallons, but there's a whole ass fucking queen size bed behind this.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, like this, there's one of my Oscars right there. There's one of my tiger fish.
Nice.
There's 2 other tiger fish in here. I hope there's still 2. And then I've got another Oscar somewhere. And if there's one over here, then it can't be too far. I named them Otis and Baby and the victims.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Rob Zombie, and like more so his movie. Like I love his music, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
I really followed his movie career more than I followed his music career. And I have pretty much everything from every movie that I can find that is Rob Zombie. I've got action figures, and I've got books, and I've got animals named after it, and T-shirts, and yeah, like I just introduced my 11-year-old The House of a Thousand Corpses. She fucking loves it.
Yeah,
So
it's a good movie.
oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, and
he
I
does a
warned her.
great job.
Oh, he does, and it's funny because I warned her too. I kept saying to her, you know, like this, because she loves horror, and I was like, nope, this movie's really gory. This movie's really gory. It's really gross. It's really gory. And she's like, I don't care. I don't care. So after like 3 months of telling her how gross the movie was, I let her watch it. Mind you, she's seen every Freddy movie. She's seen some of the Friday the 13th movies. Like I'm
Right.
at this point, I'm not worried. So
yeah, are they the older ones or the newer ones?
For which movies?
Oh, I guess Friday the 13th would be like mostly older films, right?
Yeah. I started her off. The very first horror movie she saw was The Babysitter. And then she went on to Freddy versus Jason, and she chose Freddy, and I'm a fan of Jason. So we marathoned both of those box sets. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, Child's Play. She's a huge fan of Chucky. She can actually draw him really well. So
what about like sci-fi horror? You into that at all? Like Alien?
A little bit. But I like, honestly, I like the B-rate, can see the hose out of the prosthetic hand type thing. Like I love shit like that. I do. I like all horror. I'm not picky. I like the old jump scare stuff. I like the new really gory, try and push your limits stuff. But I think the B rates or like the shitty acting, I really like that stuff.
Yeah, it's classic, right? So
well, and that's it. What about you? What do you like for movies and horror? Like, are you a horror fan too?
I dabble. Yeah, I'm not like, I wouldn't call myself like an aficionado or anything, but
right.
As far as horror goes, like I like horror, like all types, you know, but mostly like comedy or like just like the lame shit, I guess. But
I like the lame shit too.
Yeah, comedy is always nice just to sit down after a day, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree. My girls and I are marathoning Malcolm in the Middle right now.
Oh, nice. That's a classic.
Oh, great. And it's funny too, because like they'll see punishments that Lois gives the boys, and then they'll look at me and I'll look at them, and my kids are good all day long.
You got to show them Breaking Bad after. Show them where Hal went.
Where he ended up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, eh? I
Yeah.
never thought about that. Yeah, we ended up with Disney Plus for a little while, and I'm like, you guys watch everything you can now, because once if it disconnects, it's it.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of TV. Like the first 2 years we were here, we didn't own a TV or a couch. We just went out and did shit and went to shows and
Yeah.
had fun and camping and picnics and barbecues and whatever. We never sat in the house.
That's the way to do it. I mean, that's kind of like how I grew up as a kid, like when until like computers were around and the internet was around. Obviously, I'm only 32, but it
Yeah,
was like kind of integrated as I was growing up. So like you'd still go
right.
outside, play with your friends,
Yeah,
and then like
yeah,
change your name on MSN to something sad when you got home or some shit. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So it wasn't like fully like how it is now, but
yeah,
that's the way to go.
yeah.
Got to go outside and explore and do shit, right?
Well, and that's it. Like I knock on wood, have never broken a bone in my body, but I come from the it's 8 o'clock in the morning, get the fuck out of the house generation, right?
Yeah.
And you weren't going in houses because chores and adults were in there. People often wonder why we drank from the hoses as kids. That's why, because there was adults and chores inside the houses, and if you went in there, you didn't come out without doing some kind of chore or getting yelled at by an adult. So that pretty much
Exactly.
explains the whole generation in a couple sentences.
That's it.
I'm one step before you, and I remember when there was no such thing as computers and the internet in people's houses.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was a little
So
bit.
yeah, well, there's a small few 10 years between us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so but I mean, like it's nice when I get to talk to other generations, because we have conversations like, well, what was your favorite cartoon when you were a kid, right? And sometimes I hear, like, somebody said Biker Mice from Mars the other day, and I was
Oh,
like,
hell
what?
yeah.
Really? You knew that show?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was only one season. There was
That's
only one
crazy.
season of that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So when people bring stuff up like that, I'm like, whoa, really? You knew about that?
It's funny because,
So what about you? What was your favorite show growing up?
oh God. I mean, like, I guess it changed every year as you kind of got older, right? But I remember coming home from middle school and watching like Pokemon and stuff like that, Dragon Ball Z. It was all
Yeah.
cartoons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Until like, well, you'd stay home from school and watch like Jerry Springer or something. Like I'll watch that now because it's fucking hilarious. But
Right.
not at that age. I wasn't into like Wheel of Fortune or anything. But
Right. Right.
favorite shows growing up. Ah, geez. I don't know. Honestly, that was it. It was like watch it a little bit when you get home and then go outside.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an awesome answer to that. Oh, somebody said The
Oh,
Good
Nora
Depression
K.
is the most underrated band ever. Hats
yeah,
off. Hell
Pokemon.
yeah. Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. Awesome. Right on. That's cool. It's nice when you get compliments like that, when people are like, no, these guys are way fucking better than anybody thinks they are. And you just got that. So
Yeah.
right on. That's awesome. Now I'm even more excited to see you guys. I can't believe Damien didn't tell me that they were playing with you guys this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know.
Apples. That's it. Crimson
You gotta-
Asphalt, you're grounded.
You got to come out and see a little preset before the festival. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll have
Yeah,
some different
definitely.
songs out by then. So
Cool. All right. Yeah, I definitely going to try and make it out to that show. It's a Sunday. I have no excuse. I should be able to be there for sure. So
yeah,
right on. And it's in town, and like my car is kind of on the fritz right now. So it's a Honda Fit, but she's certainly not in fit condition. But anywhere around town I can go, but I have no excuse. The car works. I can go to Thorold and you're 10 minutes away. So, and it's a Sunday.
yeah, Sunday.
So, yeah, right on. No, that's awesome. This has been fantastic. I've had a lot of fun. I'm really grateful that you guys were able to make the interview tonight. I know it was a little bit last minute, but Sofa City has so much stuff going on that I'm just just kind of grasping everything until I get through this market, and then I can breathe for a second. So
Yeah.
my apologies on the, no promotion and stuff like that, but it's been such a busy day.
Hey, I know how it is. I mean, usually one of us is around anyway, so there would have been one of us here.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it very much.
Likewise.
Sophie is only two of us, and one of us is on the other side of the country right now. And
Oh.
we have 8 events plus 2 interviews a week until August.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
yeah, so for like the last 3 weeks, and for good reason, but the last 3 weeks, my partner has been on the other side of the country, and I'm holding down the fort, and I've got a straw in my mouth now trying to breathe out bubbles because I'm slowly just decompressing because it's been such a crazy few weeks. So,
Oh,
and we also have
it.
Dayglow Abortions coming up on June 6th at Camp Cataract in the Falls too, and we've really been pushing that show hard too. So
sick. I've never been to Camp Cataract.
yeah. Oh, it's such a fun little spot.
Yeah.
It's like, it is literally like walking into a campground and expecting to walk out the back door to the fire. It's great. It's so fun.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, their food is fantastic. You can fit 100 people in there for a good show.
Right.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. Just huge shout out to them. Their food is fantastic. Their staff is amazing. The owners are wonderful people. The space is great. It's cozy. In the winter, the food is nice and warm. In the summer, the drinks are nice and cold. And I guess you can't really ask for much more than that, right?
Yeah, that's what you want out of a fine establishment, right? And they play bands,
Yeah.
So bands come and play. That's
sounds
like my kind of place.
And yeah, it's like, and they root for all the bands that play there, and they, they root for the locals, and they really get behind all the music that they put on at the bar. It's great. It's fantastic. And they're like, I mean, they're usually all ages, so they're family oriented. Like I bring my kids to shows quite often there. They're coming to Dayglow Abortions with me, so
that's awesome. I think that's a huge part of like the scene. It shows should be all ages for the most part, you know what I mean? Like if they weren't when I was growing up, I might not have been where I am today. So it definitely took a role in my life, right? I think all age shows are awesome.
Well, I mean, I've experienced some huge bands and huge moments with my kids. Like I got to see Pantera with both my daughters last summer.
Nice.
And
that's awesome.
And I understand, like, it was their the legacy and stuff like that. Like obviously the two legends are not there, but to be able to experience all that live with some of their founding members and the support that they had, like Zakk Wylde is a fucking legend, right? And my kids will never forget that. Like I will never forget having Lamb of God start singing Walk With Me in Hell and my kids screaming that song with me. Like that's what makes my heart melt, is stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I took my kids.
That's a proud mom moment there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like when you take your kid to Alice Cooper and like people are high-fiving your kid and you got the coolest mom ever. And, it kind of reiterates why we do the things that we do in this industry and why we try to keep it alive as hard as we absolutely do and push the next generations into it. Because, we have a lot of music communities, but this particular area of the industry is family. You can run up to any scary looking metalhead and they're going to keep you safe.
Yeah. That's what I always hear when we, it's funny because we'll play places and then people are like, it's funny because everybody here is really nice. And I'm like, what? Who has a reason not to be nice? You know what I mean? Like, I know that there's dickheads everywhere, but apparently metalheads are nice. So, I mean, I know that. Everybody else should know that too.
Well, that's why we picked this spot, is because we do know how humble, how sweet metalheads are. We get all our aggression out in the pit, and we all consent to kicking the crap out of each other in the pit. right? And then when we all
Yeah.
get and we pick each other up. Somebody falls, it's very rare you see an ass and the floor connect.
Yeah,
You
you got
know?
that right. That's very true.
Yeah. You know, and like I've been to country's not my thing. You know, I've been to a couple country shows, I've been to rap shows, I've been to pop shows, I've seen everybody from fucking Backstreet Boys to Cannibal Corpse. And I tell you, I am the most comfortable at home with metal. Pop's not so bad. Rap gets a little bit aggressive. At least the shows I've been to, there were no fights, but there's aggression there. Um, with us, there's aggression, but we know it's coming because we write the music to make us feel that way, and that's what makes us feel good afterwards, I suppose, with more
Yeah.
words in between. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. So. Especially like certain topics, right? You get all that frustration out.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that I, as a parent, I have, obviously I love my kids. I have the best kids in the world. I have better kids than everybody. Because I'm their mom, I'll say it. And I feel that way. But, you know, I have my days where I can't throttle my kids. So I get into a pit. You know, there's days where you have a really, you know, a really rough fucking day at work. What do? You get into a pit. You know, and it all goes away
in the car on the way home.
Like a real adult, damn it.
Yeah, I just need my front windows tinted now so nobody can see me. And then everything's gonna be okay.
I love it. Kleenex box dispenser where the radio should be.
I don't even, I just go.
I love it. That's metal right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Oh. So I am grateful for this, and I do unfortunately have to run and pick up one of my spawn from the other side of town. But I just want to reiterate again that the Good Depression, probably the commenter was right. You guys probably are one of the most underrated bands around right now. Wow. And everybody should be listening to you. Everybody should be downloading your stuff. They should be buying your shit. Like, I mean, there's ways to support our bands for free that we can all do, you know, share this interview, share their pages, like their stuff, tell people about them. Word of mouth is free. But if you really want to get out there and support them, buy their merch directly from them. Yes, there's a thing going around about pre-sales right now, but pre-sales are usually cheaper than door. If you got the extra $5, pay the extra $5 at the door. The bands need that. They appreciate that. And that's how they keep doing all of this stuff they do for us. That's how they keep getting to play and travel and do all this. So on that note, we have Al McCready coming in on Thursday from VCCR events. So that's going to be fun. We've been working together a little bit. I can't wait for that. Next Tuesday is tune in to find out. I'm not telling you. I can't, but Steph will around 1 p.m. on Tuesday. She'll let you know who the next one is. Super exciting. They just keep dropping sick fucking names, and the lineup just, you know, it keeps growing. So yeah, on that note, we will see you guys on Thursday. The Good Depression, thank you again so much. They're on all the socials, you know, because I'm just going to keep using that. They're here in the Niagara region this weekend. They're in Toronto on Friday, Saturday?
Friday in Toronto, Sunday Niagara.
Correct. So you guys get to sleep Saturday. Excellent.
Yep. That's the day to sleep in.
Right? I know. Well, I mean, I homeschooled for 4 years, so I had every day to sleep in, and I got up at 4:30, and now all I want to do is sleep in now that they're back in regular government school. So, but I not to overshare. I do that sometimes. The coffee is wearing off, and the motor mouth is starting to kick in. So this is probably better for both of us.
We'll chat more.
This long. So on that note, it's been absolutely wonderful. I'm going to keep you backstage for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to kick everybody else out. So have a great night, guys, and we will see